Hey, what's going on? It's the Deja Vu Show. We have my guy Fat Joe in the building, Mr. Joey Crack, the Don Cartagena, all of that.
I'm a big fan of yours.
Oh, thank you.
I listen to you all the time.
Thank you.
This was like a special request of mine.
Aww.
To come up here. Right or wrong,
Listen,
my publicist is there. And so it's an honor to finally sit across from you and chop it up.
Well, thank you. Now, you've been chopping it up with some of everybody. Inside joke between me and my husband and I'm like, Fat Joe's there. You have the ultimate access pass. Yeah. Let's talk about this. Okay, so
it's called Never Sell Your Soul and Be Authentic, and you're always going to be welcome everywhere.
Come on, he's already in here starting up.
Yeah, they're going to respect you for whatever, they know you coming with the truth.
Yes. All right, so let's talk about, we're going to get to 20 years of lean back. I can't believe that.
I can't believe it either.
That's already crazy.
That's nuts.
But before we do that, I want to take it back, not all the way, but maybe like the pandemic, the beginning of the pandemic. You were one of the first ones to capitalize on streaming and getting on with the podcast.
The thing is, here we go again with authentic. It's, I was scared. I'm diabetic. I was scared from underlying conditions. I was in Miami. All my people kept calling me about people dying in New York that I grew up with my whole life. 4 different guys a day. It was a terrible, dark time. And my daughter at the time was like 14. And she was like, Dad, why don't you go on live on Instagram? I had never even went on live before that.
Really?
Yeah, I wasn't really doing social media like that. And so we stuck home and we went on live. And the first day we went on, it was like a great reaction. The next day came like 7 o'clock, and my daughter was like, why don't you go on live again, Dad? By the middle of the week, we realized, we got a TV show on Instagram. And so we started bringing everybody you could think of, Floyd Mayweather, Mike Tyson, everybody. And it was beautiful to get people through the time.
Yes.
It was such a dark time. We even had Dr. Fauci came on. And, I got to keep it real with the man, come on. I said, we want to know when we get back in the strip clubs, man, and start throwing this money. He was like, yo, Joe, you got to chill. It ain't time for that yet.
But that's dope, though, that you were able to do it. And people begin to look at you. I think this is, for me, like when we notice, like, okay, you have a voice. You're becoming like that figure. So how did that come from Flojo to this?
What happened was I was always that, right? But when I grew up at a time, I always tell a story that, I was best friends. Well, I would like to think I was best friends with Biggie Smalls, Notorious B.I.G., rest in peace. But we never took pictures because it was corny at the time. And so it was more about being private, like Rakim. I never would see him. I thought it was all about being a mystique. And it was about being tough. So if you did see Fat Joe in them days, he always had that face on like you can't even say hi to. But, the pandemic opened vulnerabilities that we could talk about everything. And then that's when the public said, oh, wait a minute, I know Lean Back. I know what's love. I didn't know this guy. I didn't know he knew what he knew, and he was funny like that, and he was about his community like that. And so I just think that's when everybody was like, wow. And everything is God's timing.
Does it add extra pressure to you? I mean, as a hip-hop artist, a public figure, you already, were moving in certain circles and stuff. But now, do you think that people are looking at you differently?
No,
because?
I just think that I don't like to take talk back. So
what do you mean?
99% of the times when I say something, I mean it. I don't care if it offends you. I don't care if it bothers you. I don't care if I say it, I mean it.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't normally say stuff that I backtrack. But now it's such a sensitive day and whatever the case may be.
It is.
Sometimes I got to take some talk back. And that's about as bad as it gets, It used to be a time I won't take no talk back. Like if I said it, I said it. It is what it is. Whatever you want to do, we do. But now it's more like, yo, Joe, and my publicist comes to the interviews with me and be like, Joe.
To make sure you're following along the path. Yeah, but to your point, people are sensitive.
I don't really be knowing how important my voice is. So, because I'm still always Joey from Forest Projects. I'm still that kid from the projects. I'm still who I am. And then sometimes I don't realize, like, yo, you were the vice president last week.
That's what I'm saying. You're up in here at the White House at the State of the Union.
yeah.
Again, you have the access pass. I'm like, Hubby Lish, Fat Joe.
Yeah. I mean, I'm for the people.
So how did that transpire? Was it before you?
Well, I started doing health transparency, so health price transparency.
Yes.
With Power to the Patients.
Power to the Patients.
We started going to Washington, D.C., telling them the importance of hospitals giving us the price.
Mm-hmm.
So anything in the world that you go get, if we bought that light bulb, it would say $99.99.
Right.
The hospital's the only place you go to that don't tell you the prices.
So you get out and you look at this bill like, what the flip?
We got stories you could never even believe of.
Absolutely.
A kid going for an EpiPen that the hospital charged them $16,000.
Excuse
and
me?
it's only $200 online. He could have bought it online. So all these discrepancies. So we just fighting so that insurers and hospitals stop taking advantage. There's over 100 million Americans in debt because of hospital bills.
Medical debt ain't no
joke.
So
we want to know the prices. Mm-hmm. And so I've been going to Washington with that. Through that, I've been meeting people, getting great relationships. And, the vice president, she loves Joe Crack. I love her. And, whenever she tell me to pull up, I'm going to pull up.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so then you got with her. You started moving. Even gave them the sneakers. The
I got to do that.
Squad sneakers.
I got to do that.
Oh, my gosh.
I work. And so the reason for this interview was it's already sold out, but we're doing the 20th anniversary of Lean Back at the Apollo Theater.
How crazy
It's already
is that?
sold out, and I'm trying to resell it.
So
I'm
wait
telling
a minute.
everybody, if you got the ticket, sell it for more money.
This is Fat Joe and Friends. It's sold out.
Oh, no, it's crazy.
Will this be going around the country?
No, this is a one-shot deal. The Apollo said, let's celebrate 20 years of... Well, I started at the Apollo. Mm-hmm. Amateur night at the Apollo. I won 4 weeks in a row. That's where I met cool DJ Red Alert.
Yeah.
Who played my demo on the radio, and that's how I got my record deal. So
I don't think I knew.
Wait.
Okay, back it up. I don't think I knew that you won 4 nights in a row like that.
4 nights in a row. And Red Alert was there, and he was like, yo, you got any songs? And I gave him the song. He played it on the radio, and that was Flojo. That went #1 in the country once I got the deal. So Red Alert put me on. And so the Apollo coming is home. It's beyond
So this
home.
is full circle.
How about last time I went over there, when I dropped my book, the book of Hosea, I was walking barefoot all over the Apollo. Like, it's my home. This is why I consider home.
Right.
So we bringing it all back 20 years later. I call it $1 billion of artists on one stage in one night. Mm-hmm. It's going to be that crazy.
So you got your partner in crime, Remy.
Everybody. We
you got the
Dipset, the Locks, but it's way more than even that. It's going to be...
Special guests?
Too much.
Do you need a hype person? Because, I mean,
you better be there. If you ain't there, you're going to cry because you ain't there. Because when they tell you who is there, you're going to be like, no way.
For real?
Yes.
And are you sure you don't want to take this on the road?
I can't afford it. First of all these guys
can we get some sponsors? You up in the White House.
These guys are my friends. Yeah. They're doing me like they paying homage. They coming through. Other than that, I couldn't afford nothing like this. This is why I'm calling it $1 billion on stage in one night.
All right, take me back to when you got and you heard the beat with Scott Storch for Lean Back. Paint the picture.
Well, we made the beat with him. And so when I went down to Florida, I told him I wanted the intro. And I wanted the intro to be, it reminded me of Belly when Nas and DMX was going to rob that club, that their eyes was different. I said, I want a theme song to them walking to the robbery. And that's how we came with the bam, 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 bam.
Yes.
And that bugs me out because every time somebody slams dunk on my favorite team, the Knicks, they play that intro. Like I'm super gassed every time.
Come on.
Every time I watch my Knicks play, anybody dunks, they play the bam, 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 bam. And so we came up with the song at the time. The Jamaicans was winning big. So they had like Signal to Plane. Rock away. I'll do the running man.
Yes.
So I said, my people don't dance. We just pull up our pants and do the rock away. So lean back. And then, the rest is history.
The rest is definitely history. That song, at the time, I think I was on Power 105.1 at that time. Yo, when I tell you that's all we played, my boss, Michael Saunders. Shouts out to my old boss, Michael Saunders.
That was my guy.
I know.
When they fired him, I hired him.
Did you really?
That's what I do.
Did you really? Well, I'm gonna keep your
that's-
name in my Rolodex.
that's,
Hey, Joe,
that's-
it's sketchy in these streets. You got something for me?
Nah, that's a Fat Joe trademark.
No, you
my
know what he
guys
used to
take
say?
care of me, they get fired. I hired them. Real
No.
quick. My wife called me one day. She said, "Call your friend such and such." It's a good friend of mine, man. They fired him. I don't believe in jobs, guys. I believe in you being an entrepreneur, owning your own business. And so my friend, she said they fired him, and I called him up, and he sounded down. I said, "Man, today's a great day." He said, "Today's a great day. Did you hear what happened to me?" I said, "Yeah, I heard you've been hired by Terror Squad. Come home."
Are you serious?
Yeah, we do that all the time.
See,
And
that's
then-
how you
and
look
then-
out for the community, for real.
For sure. But then once they get on their feet, they like, "Thanks, Joe, for looking out." And then they move on and do whatever, get going again.
I love it. So you're giving out jobs, but not only that, you're expanding your brand. We do something on the show where we talk about hustlers tips. You are the ultimate hustler.
Rewind. Why
Yes.
fight the time?
Come on.
Why fight the time when you can rewind the time?
Okay, give me the
Oh, no.
premise of rewind. What is it?
Well, first of all, if you really want to know the truth, because you talk about, it's called hustlers.
The hustler's tip.
All right. The only people we know that's gotten filthy rich is because they created a product. So if it's toilet paper, it's whatever, you have to own your own product.
Yes.
And so for years, I wanted to own my own product because I've been an entrepreneur since I'm 14. And finally, I thought of this, I hate white hair. It's a problem for me.
Yeah.
Right? It's like in Spanish, we call it amiático. I don't know what you call it in English.
Mm-hmm.
It just bothers me. So any white hair is not for me. So since I've been 27, I've been getting white hair using products like, I remember shaving my whole, painting my whole chest because I got my first white hair. Like,
Are you
I got a
serious?
problem with it, right? And I shouldn't be telling other rappers that I'm.
No, come on.
And so
safe
I
space.
used products and it wasn't right. And so one day I linked up with my people, it's a 10, who run $1 billion company for women's hair products. And I said, let's do a line where we can empower the people. The women, my wife, if she ain't got laser today, she got eyelash day. She got
Listen,
nail
don't
day,
tell all of our
she got
secrets.
amorphous. It's just, the list goes on.
Yes.
Why can't we look fly? Smell good, rewind the time. We say, why fight the time when you can rewind the time? You see that boy Tyson Beckford.
I see.
I believe Tyson Beckford, because they're all owners, right? Khaled's on there, Travis
Yeah, because you got a
Kelce.
whole bunch of people.
Yeah, they're all owners, so they all have skin in the game.
So everybody's a partner in this. Travis Kelce,
This man,
Khaled, Tank.
I believe this man's gonna make more money than he ever made as a supermodel off this box right here.
Come on.
I honestly believe it. And so we available at Sally's Beauty. We available at Amazon.com. And we're gonna be by the end of the year, we'll be available everywhere.
So fellas, Fat Joe is looking out for you. Rewind it.
Why
10.
look 53 when you can look 40?
I'm not
Why
bad.
look 43 when you can look 30? I mean, you're playing yourself. If your wife's telling you she likes you looking like Santa Claus, she's lying, bro. She wants you out the game.
She wants you out the
Oh, no,
game.
she wants you out the game.
Fat Joe said, no, you going to stay in this game. We got you for
Let
another
me tell
20.
you, man, when they feed you crazy, they want you really don't want to go outside. You really don't want to color your stuff like Fat Joe. Fat Joe look crazy. No, Fat Joe look good.
Come on
Go
now.
get yourself some rewind, let me tell you.
I love this. All right, so what are you doing to market it? Besides getting your guys in, what else will you be doing? Will you go out to support, to promote the event?
I went to Dallas to the Sally's headquarters. I went to see some barbers. I'm doing a barber expo in Connecticut. My man Jay Majors.
Come on, hustler.
Yeah. Oh no, we work. We just cannot work. When you talked about the sneakers earlier, the collaboration with Nike, it was already going to be sold out, but I went and gave it to everybody. I went and worked. I showed up everywhere I go. See, we have this thing in the Terror Squad DNA, whether it's DJ Khaled, whether it's Cool and Dre, whether it's Remy Ma. We will overwork and over-promote something to get it done. You can't leave nothing to chance.
But what about these new folks who just think they're supposed to be overnight stars?
Well, they are, and so I salute them. But at the end of the day, meeting people, kissing babies, having relationships. So when you do put a record out there, you do something that isn't going like your normal records go. You got friends that say, like a Michael Saunders, that say, no, let me take a chance a little bit more with Fat Joe because that's my guy.
Yeah.
And then the record turn around and start blowing up. Yeah. You need that network. And that's the biggest thing that the youth, the young artists and superstars are missing out on is the relationships. Because once you go through a rocky road and you need somebody to push you through, you need those relationships.
That's it. That's it. You dropping all kinds of gems. Like I got like 5 hustlers tips out of you already.
Well, that's what we do.
But that's so dope. All right, so talk to us about your panel that you recently moderated. Something about justice reform for cannabis and all of that.
The vice president, Madam Vice President, she called me up and said, "Joe, I need you to come up."
Is she on your speed dial? Yo, VP, what's up?
I want to say speed dial. We're cool. We're like really cool. Like
Okay.
I could really reach out, and they reach out to me, and they be like, "Yo, Joe, we want you to moderate this and for the streets." And you know, it was a panel based on giving pardons, and so whenever I see black and brown people who could get a fresh start at life and get rid of their criminal background if they're doing the right thing. So we heard some incredible stories that day, and that's what I'm about. So when you see me, people jump to the conclusion because we always see anybody with a politician. We say he's selling out. No, I'm trying to get you out of jail. I'm trying to get you some pardons. Like there ain't nothing sell out about it. You know, I'm not showing up if it ain't right.
Have you had that pushback before? People
do you
say
mean?
that about you selling out or
You
whatever?
know, politics is very crazy. They got family members that won't talk to each other because of politics.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm personally a diehard Democrat. I got friends who are diehard Republicans.
Right.
And to me, they sound crazy. And to them, I sound crazy.
Yes.
And so, you know, it's like that. One week, they like, "Yo, Joe." And then the next week, "Yo, Joe." You know, politics is really, people are really, really
well, it's very
passionate
charged
about
right
it.
now, yes. I saw you with those Trump sneakers, though. What's up?
Yeah, that wasn't a good look. That was
That was not a good look. I was like, what are you doing? Fat Jen. Now, that was the one time.
Deja, let me tell you something. I'm the #1 sneaker collector in the planet Earth.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie to you, right? Like I'm not gonna lie. If I came out and showed my sneaker collection, it would be like being at a museum.
Wow.
Like one day I'll show it at a museum, a Sotheby's or something. I really have, like, if Michael Jackson made a Jordan made out of the white glove, I got it. If Prince ever made one that this, I got it.
How many pairs do you think?
It ain't even about, I got thousands of pairs, but not only thousands of pairs, I got the best sneaker collection in the world.
All the exclusives.
So, you know, the guy made it. It should have stood in the shelf. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, it wasn't the right flex. I messed up. What do you want me to do?
You know what? I love you. I do. I really do.
Why you say that? I mean, I'm just being honest.
No, but you know what? I like your heart, for real. All right. Now you're hanging out with the politicians. You're doing reform. Would you ever consider running?
Never.
No? I mean...
Nah, it ain't for me. I don't want to be no politician stuck in the office. I want to party and shake my booty.
But I'm saying
shake
maybe...
my booty. Ah.
Hey.
Shake, shake, shake.
Come on.
Shake, shake, shake.
What?
Shake your booty. Ah, shake. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I ain't with that.
But the work that you're doing is important, though, and
I'm
we
just trying to help
appreciate
the people.
that. We
And
love
so,
that.
You know, when I grew up, I was a real tough guy. I was in a lot of violence, a lot of beef. I did all the wrong things, and I just feel like God spared my life for this. It ain't just to make hit records. I just think God spared my life to look out for the community and give back and take care of my people and speak for the unheard. I used to call them the voiceless, but they do have voices. It's just people ain't listening to them. And so that's what I think God got me here for. And so I go all the way with it. If it means going to Washington, D.C. to get a law passed based on transparency of prices of hospitals, so be it. You know, I can help hundreds of millions of Americans if we pass that law. That's what it's all about for me.
I love it. So what's next for you? Where will we see you?
And I don't even know, but I'm going to be honest with you. I have a TV show coming out.
Wait.
Fat Joe Show, yes.
A talk show?
Talk show. But it's a traveling talk show.
But that's okay. That's still dope.
So we on Stars.
Okay.
And so not only did they secure a season, they secured the first 2 seasons.
What?
Yeah. And I got a brother, his name is Michael Davies, and he's a big guy. He did like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and the Andy Cohen Show, and the NFL Morning. Like, he's the biggest guy in the world.
Yeah.
And so when I meet him, the way I pick him is he says, "Yo, I got too much money." I said, "What do you mean?" He says, "Too much money." He says, I've been so successful that people are chasing me to do the show. He said, do you know who I've been chasing for a whole year straight? When I heard he was getting a TV show, I said, who? He said, Fat Joe. He said, I want to do the show. He said, we're going to win Emmys. We're gonna change the game.
Wow.
And so that's how I got up with him. And when I did the research, I'm only telling you 2, 3. This guy's the biggest in the world. And then when I read it, I was like, oh, my God, like, we got the best.
This is
And so
dope.
we're blessed. It's going to be, I think, Anthony Bourdain, his topic was food, but us is going to be everything. And so we're going to focus on hip-hop mostly, but also focus on black and brown people who came from nothing and became very, very successful and inspirational. Because I am who I am, I meet sisters and brothers all the time that come up to me and be like, yo, Fat Joe, I'm a billionaire. I used to be a hairstylist. Then I created my own project. Now, my own product, I'm a billionaire. And so they always sell this to me, but I don't think our people see enough of them on TV. So I'm going to definitely showcase them throughout that. So just inspire the youth and let them know that they have a very big upside.
And when will we be able to see this?
Soon.
Really?
Yeah, we're talking about soon. We're going to start.
Soon
I don't know.
as
Soon,
it-
like maybe a couple of months, maybe like 2
Wow,
months.
that's really soon.
Oh, no, it's a go.
Okay.
We going.
I love it. And what about a Fat Joe biopic? Who would you play, or who would
Well, we have
play
a
you?
series we're doing with Kenya Barris and the Terrero brothers, Jesse and Yuli. So we're doing the Fat Joe series based on my book, Jose. And so that's going to be crazy. That's the beginning of hip-hop, me in the streets, me going to hip-hop, me. Ain't no telling what you're going to see on there. That's
You're
gonna be
majorly
crazy.
busy. Do you remember your first rap back in the day? First one you wrote, or first one that you can remember like performing?
Now, I want to say it's my rap, but I don't know if I bit it. You know, I don't know if I heard it
We're
on
all
somebody else.
influenced by somebody
So one
early
thing
on.
was I was like, your sneakers are cheap. You trying to reach to the top. They ain't got no cushion. You can feel every rock. That was my first rap.
Bars.
But I didn't know if I stole it. I don't know. Be honest, I don't want no old school guy coming out. Yo, my man, Time Master C coming talking about Fat Joe stole my rhyme. I might have stole your rhyme. But that's the first rap I was saying to people. And I was like, yo, I rap. And so you got to understand, I grew up in a 90% black neighborhood. And my grandmother grew up in a 99% black neighborhood. Washington Projects, I grew up in Forest. And so when I went to other neighborhoods, they would look at me like I was Eminem. Because they wouldn't see a guy with like blonde hair and green eyes.
Right.
And talking. You know, I'm talking that.
Talking
the
that
sneakers
talk.
are cheap. They're trying to
Yes.
fill every rock. They're like, yo, who's this? And so, I remember one day I almost had the whole Queens beat me up. I went to my uncle's projects. They was like, oh, no, we ain't doing this. Like, yo, who you think you are? But I didn't know, that's where I grew up, man. You know what I'm saying? And the projects I grew up in, my mother had lived there for 40 years before me.
Right.
So it was like, we home sweet home. So we don't know nothing else. And so, yeah.
So we'll be able to see that story being played out in series form.
1,000,000%.
Okay.
That's
I'm so
going down.
excited. This is dope. All right. So before you go, I want to ask you to give us some words of encouragement, because we also, we do the hustlers tips and all that, but we like to lift people up. So if we have somebody, not even just kids, but just
Let me
grown
tell you
folks
something.
in a pinch.
Guys and girls, God is the greatest. God is supernatural. God is going to do stuff that doesn't make sense to human beings and normal people. But God purposely puts you in positions to do stuff that nobody believes, not even you, that you can do it. And then he does it so he can show the people that you're in his favor. So just know, no matter what, you got to let God drive the car and pull you through. Nowadays, I don't get caught up in cancel or bad comments or this and this and that, because my God tells me that these people can't hurt me. These people can't stop the outcome and the greatness. And as long as you're faithful, as long as you're obedient, as long as you give it all to God, that's the main thing. You got to give it all to God. Once you give him that, you'll realize that that's stronger than any guns, any tough, any this, any that. God is the key.
Come on, preacher. So what does your spiritual life look like? I mean,
It's
do you
big.
go to church? Do you
No.
meditate? Do you
I got a personal relationship with God.
Come on.
And I feel like everybody got their own tailor-made personal relationship with God. And I pray maybe 10, 20 times a day. And he just sees it through, man. And I ask God to help me help people. And, last night I was up all night and I usually could sleep and I was just praying for people.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's very important for me to pray for people. And I hope they praying for me. And so I'm at a place in my life. I always knew God, even when I was in the streets, even when I was bad. I always knew that God had angels around me. I knew he was protecting me to do something better. And even though I say, thank you, God, you gave me number one in the world, I knew that wasn't the real purpose. I always knew I had work to do. So people out there, if you feel like that, you're not crazy. Stuff, you're going to do stuff very, very important in people's lives to change them and help them. And so, so here we are.
Look at this. Fat Joe. I'm blown away. I love you already. Of course, we love the music. We like to rap, but I like the vibes that you're bringing. For real, for real.
That's all we could do is bring the vibe.
All right, so you're going to be bringing it over at the Apollo. April 2nd.
That's right.
Fat Joe and friends.
Be lucky. Listen, if you find a ticket upper deck, you better go. I'm just saying, it's standing room. It's about to be the biggest party in New York City. I'm trying to have a top 5 New York City moment of all time. I'm talking about when Muhammad Ali fought at the Garden.
Yes.
I'm talking about the most legendary times of New York City. I'm not even talking hip hop. I want you to leave that night like, wow. What happened? Something they're going to talk about for 20 years. That's what we're going to do at the Apollo.
I love it. All right, wait. I got a couple more questions. Okay. Who do you listen to now musically? What do you listen to when you're trying to get into the zone?
I really listen to R&B. I'm an R&B guy. That's why I like you.
What R&B songs are your vibe? Tell me.
You can't even play with me with R&B. So my favorite R&B singer of all time is Luther Vandross.
Yes?
No, it's my favorite guy of all time. I think he got like, he can hear any voice, any range he want.
Yeah.
Anita Baker.
Mm-hmm.
Stephanie Mills is my girl. My birthday last year, I had Babyface and Stephanie Mills perform. Yeah. Keith Sweat.
What?
Keith Sweat is my guy.
Would you do an R&B tinged? I mean, we know you've teamed up with Ashanti and all that. Yes,
I work on R&B songs.
Yeah.
Yes, but music wise, that's my thing, man. I listen to Donny Hathaway. I listen to everything from the Stylistics to the Blue Notes to the Delphonics to Kool and the Gang to the OJs to you name it, I do it.
Okay.
But Sade I throw in there.
Any current
Is
R&B
Sade
stuff?
considered R&B?
Yeah, of course.
She is.
She is. We're
So
not categorizing her, but
yes.
yes.
Over to the pop.
She was
No,
both.
I love her.
I don't know how to categorize her.
She's the
but
only
she was played
person I
on
was
R&B.
scared to say hi to.
Why?
Because I went to her concert and I was front row and I had the suit on and the people were screaming at me, Fat Joe, sit down. Because I'm one of them. If I pay my $90,
You standing up?
I'm shaking my ass. You ain't stopping me.
You know what?
With a tuxedo on, I'm up there.
We gonna be beefing.
I'm up there doing my thing. And they was like, Fat Joe, get down. It's crazy. And I never forget, our band was looking at me and they were going like, lean back. I could have went up there and got a picture with her, but I was too nervous. This pre-Instagram.
Yeah.
She's the only person I buckled on.
Really?
And I'll tell you another story. One story that I regret the rest of my life is Luther Vandross. I never met him. He's my favorite artist completely on the planet Earth. And I knew where he was at when he was sick. And I had pulled up to the hospital with my wife, and I sat outside, and I didn't get the courage to go upstairs.
Oh, my gosh.
Because I thought he wouldn't know me. I thought he wouldn't, he was in Beth Israel over there on the east side, and I pulled up. I was there, and I could have went upstairs and
So
been
you had clearance and everything to go?
Well, Fat Joe around New York is a different type of thing.
Listen.
They move me around. I could get in anywhere, to be honest with you.
The ultimate access pass.
Yeah, I do. In New York City,
Come
no,
on.
it's bad for you because I'm getting in.
Okay.
So
I need to hang on.
But
Yeah,
the point is,
seriously.
I was scared.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with Biggie's funeral. Biggie's funeral, I sat outside the funeral. Then I went to Brooklyn. I lit a candle at his building. You know, I didn't want to see Biggie dead, you know, for some reason. But I was outside, you know, both type of situations where I was just, you know, different. But, you know, Luther, man, that's my guy.
Wow.
You know, what's your favorite R&B song of all time?
I know you ain't gonna put the spotlight on me.
I
don't
to.
know.
You know I'm a journalist. I'm a moderator. I'm
he
a journalist.
He's
you know I got to get you too. Like, what is your favorite song of all time? You gotta have a favorite song.
I don't have a favorite.
Hip Hop Minds is The Vapors by Biz Markie. Rest in peace. What is your favorite song in R&B?
In R&B, let me see.
Matter of fact, let's do hip hop and R&B.
Let's do it. Okay. Yeah. I don't know for R&B. I love all of it, but I do. Who do I go to? Who am I can do gospel. Gospel Clark Sisters. I love the Clark Sisters. Yeah. Karen Clark.
Mary loves them. That was Mary J. That's my sister.
Mary J. Oh my God.
Mary J. My sister.
Mary
she
J.
loves
is
them.
my R&B queen, right?
Yeah.
But if I was doing guys, I don't know. I can't think. You put me on the spot. How you gonna turn?
My favorite is
the tables around.
A 1 in a million. You. Larry Graham.
Oh my gosh.
My second favorite is Give Me the Night.
Hey.
And then I go, my third one to be Baby, you can do it. Take your time, do it right. You can do it, baby.
Say what? Say what?
Do it tonight. Take your time.
I love
this. That's my
this
joint.
This dude is crazy.
Nah, that's my joint. Like I never forget. Let me tell you something. I should have known I was gonna be an artist. I should have known. I stayed every summer in Brooklyn. I used to spend the summers in Brooklyn in my aunt and my uncle's house. One day we snuck out, me and my cousin Bruno, and they lived in a house, but we snuck in these projects. It was called Pink Houses. And they was having a block party, a jam. This back in the days. I might have been 8, 9, 10 years old, something
you were
like
little.
Yeah, I was a kid. And I walked in that joint and that shit came on. That thing said, doom, 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 doom. Let's do it. Doom, 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 doom. Let's go. Dude, I was like, what is this? I never forget walking up to the DJ booth looking at the record spin. SOS band. I was like, yo, it was Take Your Time. Doom, and I was like, doom, 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 doom. Let's do it. Doom. I was like, wow. And they kept playing that song. But music, you know, these songs I just told you, like 1 in a million or this, these are music. I was just a kid. I was 4 or 5 years old looking out my father's station wagon, just knew it was, I didn't know they was talking about love. I didn't know. It was just.
But the music, the vibes get you, like that sound, that beat, that moves you.
And Stephanie Mills, you know, she was the soundtrack of my life, meaning she, you know, my mother, my aunts, whenever they broke up with their husbands or whatever, we was blasting that. And of course, the projects, the original females viral song of all time was
Gloria Gaynor?
Gloria Gaynor. I will survive.
Of course.
Oh, when you look at my projects, 144 apartments. At least 40 or 50 of the girls were screaming out the window, oh, no, walk out the door. The whole projects. Every woman in the world, they burnt that one out.
They burnt crazy.
That one. That was burnt. That forget about it. That record is the all-time classic of that era of women just saying they fed up. That was probably the beginning of women's independence, that song.
That song still rocks, and she's still around singing it, definitely.
Of course.
So wait, do you do like the barbecues with the R&B cookout and all that stuff?
It's in my house.
What?
So it's in my house.
Okay.
So we bring the DJ to my house.
Is this an invite? I think I've just invited myself over.
Yo, Didier, you make sure you bring in the summer. So we got the house, it's beautiful. We got the DJ, and we really rocking.
I bet.
You know, we doing everything. We doing Shaka Khan. We do a little bit of everything. And then we get into that 90s, that Jodeci.
Listen.
That Mary. Get into that Keith Sweat, the king to me.
Listen. He was a begging guy. Oh, baby. Yeah. But the ladies went crazy for him, for real. Now, wait about to the 2000s. Yo,
that's my theme song.
We got you up in here.
Nobody, baby. That's my theme song. And the girls that never get credit is the Cut Close.
Cut girls. Close. They put everything on with that.
Nah,
with him, with all that whole nobody, that whole era.
If you really jump up on it.
Yes.
What?
I
and
forgot.
you know, I grew up in the same projects as Cheryl from SWV.
No, you know she's going out on tour.
Yeah, Coco.
Yes,
It's my
they go
girl.
on
I just
tour.
went to see them in Vegas. But she grew up in my same projects.
Wow.
Falls projects. So I knew her before she even like sung professionally. She only sung in the church with her family, but she was probably the flyest girl in my projects, and no dirt on her. Boy, nobody had no dirt on her. And then she just became SWV.
And then both of y'all blew up.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Have you all linked up and talked since
we cool.
then?
We family.
Of course.
You know, I'm very proud of her. She knows Joey. Fat Joey, no shirt on, gold chains on the block, acting stupid. She know that Joey.
She knows where all the bodies are buried, all the crazy.
She definitely knows. Like this is what I'm trying to tell you. We was kids together in the same projects. We didn't know we was gonna be famous. She tells me stories all the time. She's like, Joey, you terrible.
You got to get her a character on the show so that can play out, and then like y'all fast forward.
There. I mean, everybody's gonna be on there. I knew everybody you could think of in the hip hop game. So it's going to be crazy.
This is good stuff. Good stuff. Well, thank you for stopping by, Fat Joe.
Thank you so much. It's an
I appreciate
honor.
it. I could talk to you all day, like for real, because you're so easy.
You know, I love you. I got to shout out my man Lenny.
Lenny Green.
No, let me tell you something.
Tell me.
You are super dope. I love what you bring to the table. Let me tell you about Lenny Green. When I hear this man's voice, pause. He makes me appreciate life. And when he come on and he be talking to the ladies, I'm like, yeah, Lenny, talk your stuff, man. I'm his hype man. I'm in the car. That thing come on and Lenny just start talking. You know, one of my birthdays I had Lenny do a drop for me.
Did you really?
And he was like, this is Lenny Green. Welcome to Fat Joe's birthday. We just like to hear Lenny. He's different.
That's dope.
Lenny.
Now he blowing his head up. Now his head gonna be bigger than it already is.
No. Listen, the Quiet Storm is legendary. I live in Jersey and I live in Miami, so I get it. You know.
Oh yeah, because he does the thing in Miami too.
Yeah, I get it. Or if I go to Bahamas, I hear Lenny. Lenny all over.
He is.
But the point is, he's funny.
Yes.
That guy right there, like you've been in this game so long, you appreciate voices.
Of course.
There's a guy in Miami, old school guy. But he makes me laugh. He only comes on like Saturday, but he be like, yo, I'm the man with the master plan. The ladies love me. The girl, I say, yo, this guy on one, right? He talking that stuff on the radio, and I love that. And I love what you do too, man. It's it's a blessing that we have you guys, get us through good and bad times. We definitely tune in and then like, shh. You could breathe.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You know what? Matter of fact, it's the 50th year anniversary for WBLS. Can you say something like, yo?
WWBLSSS. I was listening since it was like super rockin', Mr. Magic. And it's magic. Boom, 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 boom. I've been listening to BLS my whole life since Frankie Crocker. Day one, it's the first station I believe that ever played hip hop music, and so we got to salute, for being pioneers in the game. But BLS is, you got my man Red on there.
Red kills it.
I owe Red Alert my life. I'm gonna tell you one thing: he is the one true OG that still got it. Like he's not on here as, yo, that's Red, let him DJ. He brings it every day on the radio. Like I'm listening to Red Alert just as a fan.
Yes.
And so Red, I love you, brother, man. Thank you for everything you've done for me, man. I love you too much. Ele Pupu. All right, brother.
Yay, love